Often gnarled into shapes worthy of a Halloween movie, the limber pine is an iconic tree species. They have been a familiar silhouette on dry, windswept ridges in southern Alberta for generations. Despite their tenacity, though, the limber pine are struggling. So much so that they've been listed as an endangered species. The twisted silvery limbs of the historic Burmese tree stand as a reminder of what we're losing. Holding a roadside vigil next to the Crow's Nest Highway, the dried remains of this limber pine tell a tale. It is just one of millions of five-needle pines that have died in North America since the introduction of white pine blister rust in the early 1900s. This continent's five-needle pines, like the limber pine and whitebark pine, did not evolve with this fungus. It originated in Asia and hitched a ride to North America with the rise of international trade. These trees have not yet had the time to develop a natural resistance to the fungus. This fungus is a death sentence for individual trees and threatens the survival of the species. If that weren't bad enough, mountain pine beetle, climate change, and human development add insult to injury. The slopes favored by the limber pine are too dry for most other trees. Having adapted to this niche, the limber pine has become a keystone species. Without them, ecological processes in these special ecosystems can break down, causing impacts throughout the landscape. The pine nuts or pine seeds produced by the limber pine are packed with fat and protein. They are a valuable food source for dozens of birds and mammals. One amazing J-sized bird, the Clark's nutcracker, has co-evolved with the limber and whitebark pine over millennia. The nutcrackers harvest and cache limber pine seeds in summer and fall, storing seeds in many locations. They hide them under tree bark, in rock crevices, and in the soil, returning to eat them when other food sources are scarce. New seedlings sprout from uneaten or forgotten seed caches. This harvesting and caching behavior is critical. Scientists have shown that the germination rate for new seedlings is much higher if they were from a cached seed, rather than simply one that dropped from the tree to the ground. Scientists are concerned that declines in limber pine populations may lead to reduced nutcracker populations. If there are fewer birds, there will be fewer seeds cached. This will lead to fewer seedlings sprouting and fewer trees reaching maturity for our future forests. The Waterton Biosphere region and its partners are working to prevent this downward spiral. If these trees don't survive and thrive, the impact could threaten various species throughout the ecosystem. In addition to supporting wildlife, limber pines play additional key roles. One of the most important, but often overlooked roles, is in helping protect our headwaters. Living in harsh terrains where thin soils prevail, the pines and their powerful roots help stabilize slopes and retain soil moisture. In the wind shadow of limber pines, snow accumulates and melts more slowly, which promotes cooler stream temperatures and helps regulate stream flows. The recovery of limber pines across their range will be an uphill battle. Fortunately, the pines have a lot of friends working to help them. Experts from the Whitebark Pine Ecosystem Foundation of Canada have been working to identify, test, and propagate seedlings resistant to blister rust. Cones from rare, rust-resistant trees are protected with mesh cages early in the season to allow them to mature. This protects these special seeds from nutcrackers, bears, and other would-be foragers. Don't worry though, there's still plenty of unprotected seeds to go around. When the seeds are mature in the fall, the cages are removed and the cones harvested. Their seeds are then extracted manually by trained professionals. New seedlings are grown from these special seeds. They reside in nurseries until they are robust enough to plant in restoration areas. The seedlings are planted by the thousands in locations identified by experts as having the best conditions for survival. Why so many, you might ask? Subsequent forest stands will need significant numbers of trees to attract nutcrackers in the future. If there are too few trees, there will be too few cones, and the birds won't want to visit there. A limber pine seed orchard in Waterton Lakes National Park is currently growing rust-resistant trees. When mature, these trees will produce disease-resistant seeds to support recovery efforts. The Waterton Biosphere Reserve Association has partnered with the Whitebark Pine Ecosystem Foundation of Canada on limber pine awareness, monitoring, and restoration activities. In 2023, these groups supported field days at 2 land camps with students from the Livingston Range School Division. These events were also attended by Indigenous elders, teachers, and other staff. Participants learned about limber pine threats, tree stand health monitoring, and the interconnectedness of pines and the ecosystem. The Waterton Biosphere Reserve Association has also been mobilizing volunteers to contribute with recovery efforts. They help by building protective cone cages and with seed extraction when cone crops are sufficient. In addition to volunteer efforts, landowners can also play an important role in limber pine conservation. By registering the location of limber pine stands on their property to the Whitebark Pine Ecosystem Foundation of Canada or iNaturalist, landowners can help strengthen our understanding of distribution and enhance our ability to identify potential planting sites. Agricultural producers can help as well by employing best practices when grazing their animals near limber pines. Simple measures can be put in place to manage cattle grazing in sensitive areas. The following methods may help keep cattle away from stands and seedlings. Recovering limber pines is a complicated effort involving many participants. The common thread with all these dedicated partners is a desire to see this iconic tree species persist for the benefit of future generations. If you'd like to help out the limber pine, please reach out to the Waterton Biosphere Region or the Whitebark Pine Ecosystem Foundation of Canada. Volunteer hours and donations are greatly appreciated. Thank you.